Hi guys, I'm Kevin from Strobepro.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Strobepro dual pistol grip roller stand. It's a heavy duty stand just like our other roller stands, all steel construction, and it's on wheels, so it's really ideal for someone who has a permanent studio space. The really cool thing about this is the unique way that you would mount lights or accessories to it. It's got these little pistol grips, and we give you two of them, so you'll notice I've got one light here and one light here. And to move them, it's really simple. I'm just gonna squeeze that little grip and I can move them up and down anywhere on this column. So the great thing about that is you don't have to worry about your minimum height so much. I can go basically all the way to the floor and all the way up to its 7-foot maximum that's going out of frame. So let's find out a bit more about it. I'm gonna walk you through the assembly instructions and all of its features right now. Inside the box, you're going to have a few things. We have, of course, the main base of our stand here, which may look familiar if you've used some of our other stands. This is the same base we have on our 4-foot roller and our 8-foot roller. We're going to have the top part of the column. I have two of these pistol grips. I'll show you how those work in a second. The wheels, of course. And last but not least, we have the adjoining bracket and this little Allen key. Don't lose it, it's important. So to open up the legs on this stand, really simple. I've just got this sort of spring mechanism over here. You pull it up towards the end of the leg and it will lock into place. Just reverse the process to take it back down. Now to install the wheels, it should be pretty self-explanatory. You've just got this one thread here, but to make your life a little easier, I'd recommend just locking the wheel like that. And then I can screw it in just like this, and it's a lot faster. Make sure that's nice and snug. Repeat with the other three. Let's put it on the ground and I'll show you the rest of the assembly. So we've got our stand on the ground here, and if your wheels are still locked, all you're going to need to do is push your foot underneath there, lift up, you'll feel it come free. Locking it again is just as simple. I'm just going to pop my foot down on top until you see that clamped down there. There we go, free again. So the first thing I'm going to reach for is my pistol grip, the first one. Now, the way these come in the package is like this, with the spigot on this side. And that might lead you to believe that we're supposed to mount it this way. And you certainly can do that. And there's probably at least one good use case for this. And that's if you want to get a light really, really down low. You are saving that little bit of extra space, about 5 inches. So that's kind of cool. But the problem with mounting it this way is actually, it's not going to hold nearly as much weight. The spring pad that keeps the tension is right here on this side. So if I press down, I'm actually putting pressure directly on that spring pad, which is what causes this to come down so easily. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go to my spigot locking screw here. I'm just going to remove the spigot, and I'm going to put it in the other way. You'll see that it's basically symmetrical here, so it is possible to have the spigot going either way. Now I'm going to install it the correct way, and I don't need to put any pressure on this quite yet, not till I get to the very top. You're probably going to feel it get stuck there. So that blue pad there, it does tend to snag up here, which is why I strongly recommend installing this before you put on the top part of the column. Because if you're trying to reach up and wrestle it on there, you're going to have a bad time. So here we go. I have my first pistol grip installed, and I can still push it if I try a little harder, but this is going to hold a lot more weight now this way. Let's talk a bit about the spigot. So it's kind of a unique spigot we have here. On the one side you have a baby pin, which is great for accessories that need to seat a little further down. On the other side, you have a standard spigot with a 1/4-inch thread. So that actually gives you a lot of mounting options, which is pretty cool. You can see if I drop this in here, the baby pin part kind of hangs out of the bottom if I want to use the standard spigot. On either side, we actually have a little flattened section that can run against the screw. So that just prevents any unwanted rotation. You use the flat side on the other side for the locking screw of your strobe, and then there's just no way it's going to twist, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to take my second pistol grip here, and I'm going to install that as well. Again, there's that little blue pad there that you might need to wrestle over the top. Okay, so we are good, and now I'm going to install the top column. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my adjoining bracket, and there's this little Allen screw that I can see. Got my handy Allen key ready. So that's going to be the top one if we're looking at the bottom set. And so I'm going to squeeze that, and I'm going to line that top one up with the hole here. There we go. So once that's nice and centered, I'm going to take my Allen key, and I'm going to lock that nice and tight. Now that is going to affect my ability to get the top one on. It's going to be a little tricky, but I also don't want this to move. So I'm going to take my top pole now, and same thing, I'm going to look for that hole. There we go. Drop that on. Okay, now that I've got this here, I'm going to go to my bottom screw, loosen it just a touch, and keep that in place. There we go. Now I'm going to line up my second screw, relock my first Allen screw, and then I'm going to lock the top one. It's really just as easy as that. And the great thing about this stand is we give you a little cable clip, which is great for your cable management. And there's also a handy dandy slot for your Allen key right there. So that's a great place to put it if you don't want to lose it, because every time you take this stand apart or put it together, you're going to need that. So you're going to want to have that somewhere handy. So there we go, guys. Now I have my completed stand, and I can take my pistol grips, move them all the way to the top. I can get super low if I want to. So this is a really versatile stand. Normally when you have a light stand, it has a minimum height because it has a set of columns. So you can only get your light down so low. With this one, you're not limited that way. And we also give you the second pistol grip, which is really cool. Now you can mount two things on there. So you can have key light up here, kicker coming in from the bottom, or you could use that second mounting point for a laptop, a monitor. There's all manner of things that are useful to have on the column of a light stand. One feature you'll probably miss on this stand if I don't mention it is the leaning leg. So if I take my handy dandy Allen key, I can find this little silver pin here, and you'll see it's got a couple of holes where the Allen key can grab it. I'm just going to put my Allen key in like that, and I'm going to rotate. And you can see what's happening there. I'm actually able to lean this column in either direction, and that's very useful if you're ever in a situation where you don't have completely level ground. You can level out that column really nice. Just to show you guys that our pistol grip can indeed take the weight, I have what is currently our heaviest monolight, the Godox AD600 Pro, along with what is currently our heaviest modifier, the Strobepro 47-inch Rapid Pro parabolic softbox. So extremely heavy combo, and you can see the pistol grip is handling it like a champ. To lower it, really simple. I'm just going to hold the weight and slowly press down on the grip there, and I can lower it easily. To raise it up, same thing, except I'm going to apply pressure upwards, and that was not too bad either. So guys, it's just such a flexible stand. You can go all the way to the top, all the way to the floor. There is no limitations in terms of minimum height. And on that note, if you are primarily using this as a low height stand, you can optionally just not even install this top column, and then it's going to take up a little bit less vertical space. So I brought in another stand here. This is the Strobepro 9-foot HD, and it's another great heavy-duty option. And because it uses a traditional riser setup, it's a fair bit more travel-friendly than this guy is. But I do want to show you that limitation that I've been talking about this whole time. If I lower this down, there we go. That's the minimum height. This light is not going to get any lower than that on this stand. But with the pistol grips, I can go as high as I want or as low as I want. So it's a do-everything kind of stand, which a lot of people want. I'm thinking particularly about product photographers, newborn photographers, people who need to get that modifier basically touching the ground sometimes, but they also shoot family portraits or other types of work that require a more typical height. So for them, a purpose-built low-height stand doesn't meet all of their needs, whereas something like this definitely can. And that's really cool. And of course, you know, as a bonus, you've got that second pistol grip so you can mount another light on there. If you've never thought about doing that before, you're thinking about it now, and I guarantee you're going to find a use for it. So there you go, guys. This has been the Strobepro dual pistol grip roller stand. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'm Kevin at strobepro.com.